It's the greatest golden hit show on local radio. The David Freeman Show, here on Spire Radio. Every Tuesday between 12 and 3 in the afternoon. Playing all the hits from the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. With special guests from businesses and projects around the Chesterfield area.
Yeah, welcome back, and this is the part called Chesterfield Chat, and delighted to have as my guest this afternoon Marie Cooper, who's the Group CEO of CBE Plus, and we'll be coming to Marie shortly and just after this.
Okay, let's get you back to the music on...
This is the Chesterfield Chat programme here on Spire Radio and part of the David Freeman Show, broadcasting live from Chesterfield. Engineering supply chain solution provider CBE Plus has built the first robotic Electroless nickel-plated production line in the UK and also Europe, and at its 70,000 feet, a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. The new manufacturing capabilities will allow the company to undertake a range of projects at its Chesterfield base, including the processing of small precision-engineered components in high volumes and the ability to deliver high-quality parts at a consistently high standard. And here to tell us all about it is their CEO, Marie Cooper. Marie, welcome to Spire Radio, and this is an amazing opportunity, not just for CBE Plus, but also for Chesterfield. So, firstly, can I ask you, who are CBE Plus, and what do you do?
Hi, David. Yeah, CBE Plus is a consolidation of 6 different legal entity businesses over the last 6 years. So, all local businesses that I've sort of pulled together, all now under one brand, one roof, and we have some really key manufacturing processes, as you've just described some of them, but really manufacturing, CNC, milling, turning, the fabulous EMP facility we've got, and then all the add-on capabilities that come through assembly processes, paint spraying, heat treatment. We've created that integrated supply chain opportunity for our customers.
Now that sounds wonderful. Talking to me, I don't understand any of it. Can you just explain that in layman terms? If I put you on the radio, for example. Yep. Oh, right. Can you explain to the listeners exactly what that means without doing the abbreviations? Because they won't know, and to be honest with you, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, totally understand. Yep, so the CNC is a machining centre, so we have machining processes. I think we've got 15 machines that can all manufacture slightly different processes, so it actually creates a product to a design specification, so we can do that. Electroless nickel plating is the EMP facility, and that coats products with an Electroless nickel coating, so that actually stands up to corrosion and resistance processes, or out in the elements that can actually prolong its lifetime.
Right, so is that the same as sort of like chrome plating?
It's very similar. It has very similar properties to chrome plating, but Electroless nickel actually, the way that it works is it coats the actual contours of the product, so you get an even coating across it all. So quite specialist and quite experienced way of working, yeah.
Now, I don't mean to be rude here, but one might say a lady in a manufacturing world, CEO of a manufacturing business, is very, very unusual. So what were the circumstances surrounding your involvement with CBE Plus?
Be careful what you wish for. As an accountant, nobody would have planned for me to be here, but what I did is I sold my shares in a previous business where I was FD, and I love manufacturing. The fact that you actually manufacture something that goes out into the world to make a difference is just something that I am, quite in awe of, really. Not technical expertise at all, but working even in finance in that environment is quite inspiring, and it's something that I have loved. But I bought the businesses, or bought shares in the businesses over the last 6 years because I could see how it all amalgamated together, and I wanted to make a difference. And it's sort of evolved how I've ended up here. Best case plans, but I can't say as I planned to be here. It's opportunities taken and work to deliver some fantastic results, actually.
It's interesting. Off air we were talking, and I said to you, what was your office like? and you said it's in back corner of an open plan office, which I endorse big time, because when I was working proper job, I also worked in an open plan office. I'd never hide myself away in the office. My door was literally always open because there was no door on it, and I wanted to encourage people to come in and talk, because it was a big thing for me, and I'm really, really pleased, even for a CEO. My goodness me. How did the idea come about, your vision, which you have created?
Yeah, it was quite an interesting story, and it was an opportunity. The first business that we actually acquired was BG Engineering, which is the machining centre. And when we first came into that business, there was a customer doing an audit, which is a regular thing. And we got talking, and at the time we were looking at another business as well, which was the Nitec plating business, half a mile away. And the customer was talking to us about their methods and their approach. And it was quite interesting that they both had work through both companies that we were looking to acquire, and they were actually buying materials from a company in Sheffield, sending them to Gloucestershire, fetching them back to Chesterfield for machining, send them back to Gloucester for another process to bring them back to Nitec for plating. So the whole thing just, well, it makes perfect sense. Well, we integrate that supply chain and we take that control. The supplier in Sheffield for the material was one we were already working with anyway, so it made perfect sense. And I opened my mouth and made the suggestion to the customer, and they couldn't have been more pleased, and they were the inspiration to bring the whole thing together.
I mean, the cost, as it was then, must have been horrendous for all that transportation backwards and forwards, and of course that all goes, or should do, go on the bottom line of the product, and time is the biggest factor.
Yeah. The amount of time that takes, never mind the carbon footprint and all the environmental things that we can bring into it, but it weren't only financial, it was actually time. We've shortened the lead time of the whole thing, probably in some cases up to 2 weeks.
So was that the main objective?
That's what came out of it then. So
it wasn't the cost?
No, it was time to start with.
My goodness me.
Yeah.
It's unusual for an ex-accountant to think that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a normal accountant either, though, David.
There seems to be been a significant investment at CBE Plus. Is this what gives CBE Plus its unique selling point?
It is doing. It wasn't necessarily the case. Some things we've had to invest in because the equipment was necessary. On obviously moving the plant, because we've literally physically relocated Nitec into the Enterprise Drive facility, which was the opportunity for everything under one roof. So some of the investment has come because we've had to do it, but if we were going to do it, we were going to do it right, and that was the whole point of the new automation, the robotics. We brought in the combined heat and power unit, which combines the two energy sources. We've got the effluent plant, which controls all our own waste from the chemistry perspective, and brings it all together. And the automation robot, it just looks phenomenal, and I can't wait for it to be delivering the results.
Now, I'm sure all your workers are listening to the radio right now. And I want to go back and about the question I asked you about having the open plan office and everything else, and I thought, yeah, that's great, I endorse it and everything else. When I first started work, one thing which has gone now, and I wonder whether you consider it, and this is where all your employees say, yes, let's do it. Bring back a tea lady, come around with the snacks and the tea and the coffee, have a chat and all that sort of thing.
That's me.
Oh,
I usually do that. When we moved the Nitec facility, bringing sandwiches and making cups of tea while everybody, did that was exactly my job anyway. So yeah, CEO has a lot of responsibilities in its title.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, I've got to play some music, and I think I might have to play some adverts as well by looking at the screen. So let's see what's coming up. Yeah, that was Lady Gaga, and I had a message through to say that missed the first 5 seconds of the interview with Marie because there was a technical fault, otherwise known as the presenter forgot to hit the button on the second mic, on the guest mic. It happens, folks, it happens, but we're all here, and it's all coming out loud and clear now. Now, something very serious, Marie. COVID played a huge part with companies downsizing and in some instances actually going out of business. How did your business survive during those most difficult times?
It was difficult and it was quite challenging, and I think nobody knew how it was going to go, but the key for us was having a very sensible and productive workforce that actually were flexible, sensible, and allowed us to remain open for business. You know, it was difficult. I always remember the only words I heard Boris Johnson say that night.
It's a party.
Quite clear. Well, apart from that, was, you know, if you can't work from home, you can continue to work in key sectors. And clearly we can't take our production facilities home. And I walked into work the next morning to 6 emails from critical customers saying we were in key supply chains that we didn't even know we were contributing to. So really an eye-opener. And the team worked through that. We did the ventilator challenge. And being open for business when other people were closed did give us opportunities to continue to grow, and that allowed us to continue the investment and continue to grow, and we have thrived from that.
Can you divulge what you actually manufacture?
Variety, and it'd probably take me all afternoon to go through everything we do, but we are very much cross-sector, so we do things for the medical industry, oil and gas sectors, automotive, rail, defence. We're doing some space projects at the moment which are really quite fascinating, so it is really quite diverse, and that's what I love. It's a mixture.
Do you ever look at who your current clients are and say, well, hang on a second, that's going to come towards the end in 10, 15, 20 years time? We need to look at something diverse from what those customers are buying from us at the moment. Maybe look into another sector. Is that part of your program?
Being diverse sector is something that I am quite strategic with in being across the board. I mean, one of our real growth strategies before COVID was aerospace. We got aerospace accreditation for the business in 2019, just as it literally fell out of the sky with COVID. So quite adamant that the cross-sector approach does work, and the idea is to grow the business across the sectors so it does protect, because each one's have their ups and downs, you know, some have the peaks and the troughs, and we are conscious of that. So we're always looking for new opportunities.
I mean, when I was working as a salesman for a manufacturing company,
Not your job.
and one of our biggest clients, in fact, represented 48% of turnover for a major retailer. I won't mention names. And that company, that retailer, actually gave the business to somebody else, and it decimated the business. Really did. It smacked it in the gob, really.
I think that's one of the things about consolidating the businesses as well, because we had that when we first took on BG. They had a customer who was 80% of their business. But because we've consolidated, we've amalgamated the groups, the turnover's increased quite organically because of joining them. So that customer is now only 17% of our turnover. So, you know, they're still a big customer, they're still a strategic partner for us, but they're not that significant that anyone can take us into that situation. So,
You know what you're talking about, don't you?
Sometimes.
Right, so you must have an amazing workforce. How many people do CBE Plus employ, and can you tell us about your work structure?
Yeah, there's 80 of them, and honestly, I can't be more proud of them. You know, they're the ones that deliver the technical expertise. You know, my vision for the business, you know, is one thing, but they actually have to deliver it, and their technical expertise and quality and attention to detail is what makes the business actually repeatable. They're a great bunch. They do strive for excellence. You know, they are flexible. I'm not saying they don't have the moments, everybody does, but in general they're all on the same page. They're working towards the vision, they understand it, and we've got a culture for multi-skilling. Bringing the businesses together was quite challenging, but I actually think it was the one thing we did really well.
Now, we have seen CBE Plus support a lot of STEM events, notably Get Up to Speed during March. Why does CBE Plus have such a heavy involvement in programs like this? But first, can you explain what STEM event is?
Yeah, STEM is all about inspiring careers in science, technology, engineering and maths, and the arts to some extent. It is down to STEAM, but it's just getting kids to actually change the perceptions of what manufacturing industry is all about and how technologies. You know, we are a manufacturing company, but we've got a painted shop floor, we have clean environments, the dirty, greasy, grimy industry is gone, so it's actually just showcasing to the youth of today what opportunities there are in these businesses and, you know, what their strengths are to deliver a career.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to play some music, Marie. I've got Marie Cooper, who's the CEO of CBE Plus, in the studio with me this afternoon, and she is taking part in Chesterfield Chat.
From the centre of Chesterfield, broadcasting.
Yeah, that was Lola and songs sung by the Kinks. In the studio with me this afternoon is Marie Cooper, who is the CEO of CBE Plus. Now, a huge and ongoing project which we do at Spire Radio, Marie, is promoting apprenticeships for the young in Chesterfield. Do CBE Plus offer apprenticeship schemes?
We certainly do. It's something that I am really quite passionate about, is inspiring the future and growing his own talent. You know, as businesses, if we don't focus on delivering the skills that our businesses need now and in the future, where do our businesses go? So we've got a responsibility to do it. And I actually love to see, you know, how the kids can change and grow and develop just purely through experiences, and that is experiences through seeing workplaces and understanding what careers are all about, because most of them don't actually understand what that actually entails or what it means.
No, absolutely, 100% behind you there. Now, you're the CEO of the business. Can you describe what success means to you? And what you know, just explain in your own words, what is success to you? Is it the bottom line, always the bottom line, which most CEOs...
I always get criticised for that because it's not one of my key drivers. Money's always a motivator for investment in the business for me. If I can live a nice lifestyle, that's one thing. But for me, success is about seeing the business thrive and grow and meet its capabilities, you know, and its potential. And with that comes individuals' growth and potential. So watching the team grow and survive, because at the end of the day, the business is only as strong as its team. So seeing them grow, and it's quite interesting when you talk about apprenticeship programs. But we've probably got, I think we've got 8 apprentices in the business out of a team of 80. So we're fairly near 10%. 2 of them are girls on the shop floor, and the dynamic of the young energy and the, I'm not going to say old because they'll all shout at me, but the age and experience of the team, that is a powerful combination. You know, it actually does work really, really quite well. Yeah.
Now, a question which was often asked of me when I was out in the real world and not sitting behind a microphone playing music. What is your 5-year plan, and if you could see into the future, what would it look like?
You'd have asked me that 5 years ago. I wouldn't have said we were where. My plan was totally different. So I'm a big believer in having a vision, you know, and I want growth for the business. The 5-year plan is to continue that investment, to continue the growth, and you know, just see the business thrive and continue to actually, you know, offer its capabilities into some really great opportunities in the world.
Do you see acquisition as part of your 5-year plan?
Oh, I've done 6 of them already. I never say never anymore, but doing 6, it's not come without its challenges. Learnt a hell of a lot, I will say, but I never say never. Opportunities do come up. You know, the last business acquisition I did came from an opportunity I had from a conversation with a customer, quite interestingly enough. So I never say never, but the capabilities we've got can deliver quite a lot now, so we need to grow and expand that. I almost feel like I want a little bit of a settling down period. It seems like we've gone through a lot of change and a lot of upheaval, but having some consistency to actually build that platform quite strong now works.
With you there. Where can people find out more about CBE or CBE Plus if they wanted to? Yeah,
LinkedIn's quite powerful at the moment. Yes. I've got a really great marketing team that are doing a great job with that, but we've got a website, www.cbeplus.com. But I'm quite happy to talk to people, you know, if anybody wants to come and see the facility, because it is all about seeing. The one thing I've realised since COVID is people need to get back out there, and it's very difficult sometimes to visualise what something looks like if you don't know what it looks like. So coming down to site, I'm more than happy to open the doors if people just want to come and have a look at what's in the area. You know, it's great. Come and have a coffee. We've got some good vending machines.
Is that a direct question to me?
No, come and have a coffee, David. You're more than welcome.
That's great. And it's been absolutely marvellous talking to you. You're very passionate about your business. That comes across quite strongly. Finally, what do you find the most challenging about running your businesses?
The time and energy it takes at the moment, sometimes that can be draining. So having a team of people around you that actually can support you, you know, give you that lift up some days when you need it, because it's not always easy. You know, every day comes with a different challenge. Some the positive, some the not so good. But it is just about getting up every day and knowing that you're doing something good and taking the positives out of everything we do.
Marie Cooper, CEO of CBE Plus. Thank you so much for being part of Chesterfield Chats. Much appreciate you coming in and speaking to us on Spire Radio. If you've got any exciting news, come in again and tell us all about it, or tell the people of Chesterfield about it.
Certainly will, thank you.